seeing the cause and seeing the effect, he generates a real compassion. Seeing the cause of the pain. So Prabhupada was always aiming to the cause. Once you have the cause dealt with, dealing with the problems becomes easy. But in one's personal life and also in a congregational life, to deal with cause, it's very difficult, especially when you deal with Shudras. Shudras like to be cheated. They like to be pepped up. Even these big revolutionaries, they politicians and big revolutionaries. How do you inspire a Shudra? You promise him a lot. They come with such a bold promises. Free Cuba, and free this and free that. And people go, it's a great idea, free, yeah. Very nice. Once we are free, we can be free, enjoying here. It's great. They're ready to die for that. So always this empty promise is being issued. As Prabhupada said so nicely, to illusion the whole planet is easy. But when you speak truth, they will throw rocks at you. He had a very practical experience. This is, you try to speak the truth, don't expect a big round of applause. And the more you live the truth and practice the truth, well, they may even crucify you. Or they may even whip you through 22 marketplaces. Don't expect a big round of applause in a society of cheaters and cheaters. They like to be cheated. They demand to be cheated. Please lie to me. Please promise me something. Please make me feel good for right now. This is not what we actually, not our approach at all. Prabhupada said, yes, our preaching is making people feel, he said, in the beginning bitter, at the end sweet. Material promises are exactly opposite. In the beginning, it's good, fun, let's have some fun, great, big time. Americans always, big time, big time. They really drove the perfection of lying and cheating to the perfection. The profession of promising people something unbelievable. Even everybody's completely in debt and the country is practically bankrupt. No, big time, have a good time. They don't even know how they will maintain the economy by springtime. But big time. And the last thing you do, that's also a nature of a Shudra, is the last thing you do when the misery really arrives, then you say it was him, he did it. Them, they did it. You never point to yourself, you go, no, it was them. Because of them, the promise could not be fulfilled, of course. It would have been easy if they wouldn't be here, if he wouldn't be here, if she wouldn't be here. How much I could enjoy. And because they are here, we cannot enjoy. So what do we have to do? We have to kill them all. And then we can enjoy. That's a very basic principle of warfare. To inspire Shudras to fight for their lost sense gratification. That's all. And they are ready to go and being killed. And in this way, so many problems are solved. Yes, they are not solved, they are just postdated. Prabhupada laughed about his American disciples and he said, you Americans, you never solve a problem. You just patch it up with some money. You just cover it up. It's like you have a big wall, on the wall, big mushroom growing because the building is rotting from underneath. What do? You push a cover to the wall. And you don't see it. You can smell it, but you don't see it. So you think the problem is solved. It's a nice room here, isn't it? No, all the mushroom is covered with furniture or with something you hang over it. This is not the way. So that means Krishna is a little bit demanding. And Krishna is very rigid, especially with those who are very dear to him. It's very dangerous to go on Sankirtan. It's very dangerous because you become very dear to Krishna. And Krishna will never let you go. Therefore you see devotees sometimes, however hard they try to be in Maya, very difficult, very traumatizing, very problematic. Because Krishna arranged specially, and sometimes the devotees get confused. Look, the guys, they are enjoying some time, they are getting their thing. I don't get it. No, Krishna said you will not get it. Because you're supposed to go back home, back to me. So sometimes, the devotees walk circles, they just go, and then they come to the same point again. It's like you try to kind of develop in your life, and actually it's a circle, you come back to the same point. Krishna goes, hey, you forgot something. No, it's cosmetic. And you keep on again walking in a circle. It's dangerous because if we don't get out of that same circle of purification of our material desires, then we have to take another body and keep on going. For Krishna, one lifetime, it's not much, We always think dramatically, one lifetime, I'm growing old. My mission of my life is not fulfilled yet. Yeah, but it's just one body, one lifetime. How many lifetimes and how many bodies you have behind, already? Therefore, Krishna is so much appreciating Daksha's attitude. Please populate the universe. Some people may get envious. My God, you can have gone Sankirtan by simply having sex life. And none of it. No, actually it's all relative. Because, like when we hear about the enjoyment of the demigods and this, they live so long and they can enjoy so much and but once you are in that situation you don't know it. So you think it's normal. And you think also it's very short. Short is a very relative term. It's like if you would tell to the ant in an anthill, there's another body you can have. You can live for 100 years and look, you can do so many things. The ant will go, wow, that's big. But for us it's short. For the ant, that is short. For us it's long, for the ant it's not that long. It's very relative. Therefore, in the material world it's basically all the same. Same amount of enjoyment, the same amount of pain, the same type of enjoyment, the same type of pain. So therefore devotees don't struggle to. Prahlad Maharaj is recommending, don't try to maximize the pleasure. You will simply maximize the pain. And it's natural that we try to avoid the pain. Therefore yogis, they actually do another thing. They maximize the pain to get quickly to the pleasure. It's like, you have two cups. One is the nectar and one is the medicine. Medicine is bitter. So which one do you want to drink first? So yogis go, I drink the bitter thing first, and then I can enjoy the nectar. For a devotee, this choice doesn't exist. For a devotee, it's like, well, okay, sometimes the medicine, sometimes the nectar, sometimes the medicine. Okay, let's chant Hare Krishna and stay close to the lotus feet of the spiritual master. That's the real thing. In pain, in pleasure, in success, in failure. The ultimate success is that you always stay close to the lotus feet of the spiritual master. That's the real thing. If you find it in Prabhupada's preaching, it was most encouraging because, I remember in Germany when he got rolled over by the police, all the money confiscated, leaders all sitting in jail for 3 months. And we were, thinking now it's basically finished. So a report was, sent to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, it's finished. They took the money. Everything is finished. That was the goal, to completely wipe out Krishna consciousness in Germany. That was the main idea behind the whole action. So the real nice thing was like the demons never bothered that we have a whole book lager. They didn't even confiscate our vans. So we just saw the vans are here, the books are here, well, then let's go out again. It wasn't easy because the German nation was really happy to give a hard time to somebody, and that was in a particular time Hare Krishna. So, it wasn't easy, but it was a real. What else we could do? It's the only thing we knew what to do, is to go out and distribute. Some trouble, you go out and distribute. Simple logic. So then, that's what we did. But the Germans said, now we will wipe them out. Prabhupada's response was amazing. I mean, after such a long report and a big court case coming, and the court case lasted for 3 years, and so many threats being issued towards Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna, pray to Lord Nrsimhadev, it will be okay. Even he couldn't come to Germany, they would put him in jail too. There was a warrant on him. But Prabhupada answered like this, and that's what we did. In half a year, Germany was number one on Sankirtan in the whole world, defeating even America. Prabhupada said, the demons, he wrote, the demons wanted to finish Krishna. Krishna said, no. And that was all. It was not some intricate manual how to avoid trouble. It was a very simple thing. And that's what devotees are supposed to do. Some trouble, we chant Hare Krishna. Some trouble, we distribute books. Some trouble, we go out and preach. The best defense is a good offense. If we don't preach, they will preach to us. There is no such a thing like a nice devotee, well established in a material society. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We are not some sect. We are nice people. We are like you. You are nice. I am nice. We are all nice in this wonderful society we are living in, isn't it? You hear these voices sometimes. You know, they laugh. This is Arjuna talking, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I want to be nice. They are nice. I am nice. They are nice. I am nice. They are nice. Let's drop the whole thing. Let them have it. They want it. They should have it. Well, I'm renounced. I'm going now. Bye-bye. I will be happy in a forest. I will be happy. And they will be happy. You see how happy I will make them? By not doing anything. But Krishna just laughed. He said, first of all, you will not be happy. It's not your nature. You are a conflicting person. Kshatriya means conflicting. He gets strong when the conflict arrives. As I once told to our previous GBC, what should manager do to avoid problems? And he just started to laugh, look at me, and he said, manager, avoiding problems? He said, manager eats problems for the breakfast. He lives from that stuff. If you don't have the nature, challenge, problem, come on. But it's all crazy here, well, now it starts to get interesting. And you don't have that, then better you are not in that position, because it will take you apart. There are other sources of inspiration. Like, there is the Vaishya ecstasy. Hey, I remember the brother of my adoptive son walking through a little town in Sweden. We thought we will have a walk, not with him. He suddenly disappeared. We found him in a small Indian shop around the corner. He was already discussing, how much they import the rice for, because he could facilitate, they could get the cheaper rice from India, and then, my adoptive son was laughing. He said, now he is again in this, wherever he goes, how much does it cost? I can facilitate this, I could help you to import that, I'm from India, and how much you're selling it for? That's nonsense, you can make a very bigger profit when you make a deal with me, and this is the Vaishya ecstasy. Always, how much does it cost? How you can sell it? How you can buy it? All the time. What is the bank doing? What is the Wall Street doing? How is the interest today? How is the exchange rate? That's a talk of a Vaishya. He just gets in bliss. He will not even sleep. And Shudra, you can just, go, we worked so hard yesterday, and we're going to work harder tomorrow. Yesterday we were digging a ditch, 1/2 kilometer long. I don't know what that was for, but it was good work. We digged a deep ditch, 1/2 kilometer. Tomorrow we dig 2 kilometers. Yeah! This is the Shudra. So there are various sources of inspiration according to our nature. Why not? There's nothing wrong with that, as long as it's kind of connected to Krishna. If it's not connected to Krishna, well then we are just digging, selling, or managing something which is falling apart anyway. So what? But right now, after this lecture, I have to fix the washing machine. I can assure you it will break down again. So we get a new washing machine, or some washing machine, and that washing machine will be breaking down. And that will also break down, and this will break down, and this will become dirty, and this will be cleaned up again, and then it will be cleaned dirty, and then it will be as our previous GPs used to say, there must be some hell for managers where they maintain things for nothing. You know, they always try to fix something and force it apart again. They fix it again, force it apart again. There must be some hell like that. You go to, if you are not Krishna conscious, you always try to manage something, force it apart, and manage again. This is material world. So this is not in itself inspirational. What is really inspirational is that the service in itself remains secure. And if it's done in a service of preaching, disseminating Krishna consciousness to others, Krishna says very clearly, there is nobody more dear to me. It's very bold when Krishna says, there's nobody more dear to me. It's amazing. It means Krishna discriminates. Yes, they are dear to me, but amongst the dear ones, as Prabhupada wrote to me in a letter, he said, yes, devotional service is absolute, but those who preach, they are most dear to Krishna. So they are all dear to Krishna. It's very nice to be dear to Krishna, but if you want to be most dear, then it's only possible by the means of preaching and disseminating Krishna consciousness to others. Here's some questions and comments. It's difficult for me to lecture to someone who once an hour about the Bhagavad Gita, you know.
It's very nice.
Yeah, I don't need that. Especially this book is something which agitates people's also senses in that regard, that they get hungry or something like that. It's so tasty. It's so tasty. It's a little bit of a chocolate, a little bit of marzipan, a little bit of something. It's wonderful. It's just a wonderful book.
You meet people who just want the book. That's a nice thing. They don't take the book because just to be nice, but actually they want
the
book.
If there would be no, Prabhupada said it himself, if there would be no other book with Bhagavad Gita, they are doing completely fine. Completely fine. And whenever we distributed Bhagavad Gita massively, some auspicious thing happened for sure. Usually new about us, like out of nowhere. Maybe it takes a bit longer, but it is not our concern even. Yeah, what can we control anyway? But Bhagavad Gita coming out and Bhagavad Gita going around can change the face of the whole nation. I always remember it when I drive to Germany. That place should be blown out to pieces long time ago. So many slaughterhouses, so much ferocious bleeding, so much violence in the air. But still, it's keeping on going. That's because of the preaching. That's because of devotees disseminating these books. Even out of a relatively confused state, they still manage during the marathon to give out 4,000 books a week or something like that.
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I'm getting weekly results.
Who's going out? Someone we know?
Oh, I hardly know the names. But there's always 3-4, stalwart survivors. Grihasthas nowadays, who are just busy throughout the year with all kinds of things, but when the marathon comes, they're right there.
Is Mangalanda back?
Huh?
Mangalanda, is he back? He's
barely surviving. But his heart is still beating for some people. But there is Paramatma, yes, special expert carpenter, Sankirtan van, equipment. You can make out of an empty van and fantastic something like that. Very skillful. when the marathon comes. He can do 300 books a day, 400 books a day. Easily. That's like, Krishna has some. And the conditions which it's amongst the devotees who find such an amazing personality. He has a wife who is sitting the whole day in a van, no children. Children van. It's another story, it's a long time ago. But the wife is just sitting in the van. She's just preparing the books, and he opens the door and she gives him the books. And that's how he spends the whole night. It's awkward. And then there are more that are amazing. And then there are some new which I don't know. I can only praise any new bhakta who under these circumstances which are rather chaotic. Let's face it, they are quite chaotic. Still gets the point to go out and distribute books. Nowadays you have to fight for your inspiration to go out and distribute books. It doesn't come on its own. For me it was easy. I was just swept like an avalanche, you have no choice. It's like when avalanche comes, down the mountain. You cannot say, well, that's a little bit heavy, I want to sit here and rest and look at the landscape. No, it will just take you all down the valley, Sure. So I was just swept with the avalanche of Sankirtan ecstasy, so I had no other choice. You have to be out there, either you die or like in avalanche you have to swim, The technique is to swim, to stay on the top. So that was the mood I received, so it was easy. Nowadays, to get really determined and focused, which is absolutely necessary to distribute books. It's not easy. But it's there, the fires are there, like you go around Europe, I will be in 10 days maybe in Czech Republic or Slovakia. I always find there's a group, the fire cells are burning there. It's the same thing everywhere you go. It's just, somebody decided really to distribute these books. And then he hears, there's so many things going on, problems and projects, and we have to go inside. No, we have to go outside. We have to go inside, then outside. And we have to feel that we sink. Do you feel that you sink? They go, yeah, Hare Krishna, Sankirtan Jai. They will meet persons on the way who will just go, wait, your Sankirtan days will also be over. Wait. And they go, yeah, Haribol. They are not over now, Haribol. It's amazing to find such a determined devotee. Usually it's powered by a heavy inspiration from behind. It's, the more uncompromising and clear the preaching becomes, the more this kind of spirit is generated. Because you have to be, as Krishna says, you have to be Ekeha Bodhinandana. You have to have a one-pointed intelligence. Nothing comes in, just that. As you know, the story is the Pandavas were practicing archery under the guidance of their martial guru. We're supposed to hit a target, the bird in a tree, some artificial bird in a tree. And then, the messenger was Yudhishthira, he said, yes, I'm focused. I see the tree, I see the bird. His guru said, don't shoot, step away. And another one said, yes, I'm focused, I just see the bird. And then he stepped away. And then Arjuna came up and he said, what do you really see? I just see the eye of the bird. He said, release the arrow. And then, Arjuna immediately hit right away the target. Because he didn't see anything else. It was like, completely focused. There's nothing else to see. It's not easy to come to that point. It takes a great deal of austerity, because austerity means you renounce. No, not this, not this, not this, not that. This. This is what makes book distribution so difficult. Even actually it's very easy. It's one of the most easiest things you can do. It's more difficult to fix a washing machine as to distribute a book. You can just go and go, hello. No, I don't want it. Good, then you go to the next one. Until somebody goes, oh, no. Well, as you said, they even want the book. I can tell you an inspirational story from Copenhagen, the city. I was on the street and there's a shop, quite known shop actually, in the center. Sells a kind of hippie dress from Nepal, Kathmandu, from just this kind of typical ponchos and, this kind of thing. So I passed by the shop and there was a girl sitting next to it, sitting on the stairs, of the house, of the entrance. And she had a cigarette in one hand and coffee in the other. And then, but she looked like quite clean, so I just offered her a kulagov and something like this. And she looked at me and was going, oh, finally, prasadam. I was going, uh-oh, who is this? And she was going, so nice, I get prasadam today, Prabhu. I was going, uh-oh, who is this? So it was revealed to me that she was from Kaunas, from Latvia, and she was the wife of the Nepalese husband who was never together managing that shop. And she was just outside, And then, normally I don't do that really, talk much to people. I talk to her, and the first thing she said, oh, I just got the new Bhagavad Gita, it's fantastic. She could obviously read in Danish. She was quite some years ago. So she said, it's fantastic. He said, I have the book there in the back on the shelf, and I need for me, a minute I'm free, I'm reading it. He said, I guess I'm a devotee, but she had this coffee and this cigarette in her hand. So she was like, and she looked at me like kind of strange, and I was going, what is she doing? And she said, and you are, who is you? And I said, well, I'm Manidhara. She said, not that Manidhara. And I said, yeah, that Manidhara. And she said, oh, you were in Kaunas in a Sankirtan meeting last January. And I said, yeah, it was me. Then you are a Prabhupada disciple. And her eyes were, and I was going, I tried to be, yeah. And she said, you see, if I wouldn't drink this coffee and smoke this cigarette, I would like to be initiated by you. I was going, well, okay, let's talk about something else now. But the reason I'm mentioning it, that she was so fascinated by this new Bhagavad Gita. So we should be known as the Bhagavad Gita movement. People who should have that connection, Hare Krishna, oh, that book, it's just a question of propaganda, that's all. It's like Coca-Cola, nobody thinks about cookies. Everybody goes, oh, bottle, this shape, that brand, and that taste, okay. It's not like that. It's just a question of propaganda. That's all. Be known. Just let it sink into their brains. Aha, Hare Krishna, aha, Bhagavad Gita. Fortunately, some groundwork was already done because the name Bhagavad Gita and the book is most widely known. Even before Krishna consciousness came to the West, it was still, the book was already here. It was known, Bhagavad Gita. But nobody had such an edition. Nobody knew what it really is. But the term, Kamis are like that, they work on term, name.